It happens but once a year. That's when the miracle of nature shows its face to present sets of the most treacherous, yet breathtakingly beautiful waves anywhere in the world. They're found on the north shore of Oahu, and the surfers who have mustered the courage to challenge this wave have simply come to call it the pipe. The perfect wave, they claim. Today on ABC's Wide World of Sport. Feast your eyes on this shoreline. It's the place dreams are made of, and a part of the world so many plan to take that one exotic vacation they've been fantasizing about for years. Where else but Hawaii, where the smell of salt in the air laces the island of Oahu thanks to the northeast trade wind. Once you get there, well, it's off to the beach, certainly to soak up some of those warm tropical rays, or just to kick back and enjoy the view. Somewhere way out there, almost 2,000 miles away near the Aleutian Islands, the perfect wave is being born. It'll crash up here along the north shore of the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and that wave will become the infamous Banzai Pipeline. Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Simon, and we're here for the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship. Now, some of the greatest surfers of all time are here. There are 4 left in these finals, and with me is our expert on the sport of surfing, Randy Rarick. You have grown up here. You've surfed these waves, and you, of all people, know exactly why this Banzai Pipeline is so treacherous.
Well, and as you said, the waves do travel unencumbered for over 2,000 miles all the way from the Aleutian Islands. They come here out of very deep water, and all of a sudden they hit this shallow reef. It's only about 5-6 feet deep. It's very dangerous. There's pinnacles, there's caves. The wave comes in, throws out on the wave, pitches out, and it forms what we call a tube or the pipeline. And it's the bottom that is very dangerous, and it's the hard breaking wave that makes it one of the most unique waves in the world.
Well, we all know that this is an annual event, but can you count on these waves being so incredible?
No, it's very rare that we get them. Maybe once, twice a week if we're really lucky, and then only once a month it's really good. Here today, it's actually going to be a unique situation. Normally, we only have waves that break from one side to the other, but because of the shape of the swell and the direction that it is coming from, we have waves going to the right and waves going to the left. So we actually have 2 brides in either direction, so it should be very interesting to see what the surfers can do with this.
While we're waiting for the green flag to go up and start the competition, let me introduce you to the 4 finalists here today, all of whom are no strangers to this Pipeline Masters. First, Michael Ho, who is the defending champion. He's with his brother Derek Ho, the first time Derek has ever qualified, and the first time 2 brothers have ever competed in these finals. Next, we have Buzzy Kerbox. Buzzy is 27 years old, been surfing for 17 years, and he also models part-time as well. And finally, top-ranked Dane Kealoha. Dane has been here several times before, but never been able to come up with that win. The scoring is simple. Each judge scores each ride on a 1 to 10 basis, dropping the high and low marks. They'll be looking for the length of the ride, the size of the wave, the amount of maneuvers each does on the wave, and of course, they'll be looking for the tube rides. Randy, let's visually take a look at why the pipeline is so unique.
And the power and the force of the northerly swells, as well as the reef, are what makes the pipeline so treacherous. Taking a look at the lower right-hand portion of the screen, you can see the dark areas underneath the water there. That is actually the reef. Let's go down and take a look at it from underneath the water. Pinnacles, crevices, very shallow reef, comes out of deep water. The waves move in, hit this reef, throw out, and break right on top of it. The surfer's riding just a few feet above the reef itself. And it is this reef that forms the perfect wave, or what is known as the pipeline. As it pitches out, throws into that cylinder shape, that's exactly what the surfers want to do, pull themselves into the barrel. It may be dangerous, but it's ideal for forming that tube, and that's what makes the pipeline so famous.
We're waiting for the green flag to go up. There goes the horn. That signals the start of today's competition. And we're looking for our first surfer today. It looks like it's Dane Kealoha.
Up in riding, Kealoha chooses a right. He's facing the wave, heading to his right. So he comes off the top there, works his way down the line, looking for a little more distance out of this one. Can't seem to get it, and he'll have to pull out of that wave.
There are the marks for Dane. 4 5s and a 6, and he'll be looking for a much better wave next time. Paddling for the next wave is Michael Ho, the defending champion. And Randy, those waves don't look all that big.
Well, just at the start of this final, the wind shifted somewhat, Ann, and it's becoming a bit bumpy and making it very hard for the surfers to look for those tubes that the pipeline is famous for. So I think we'll see a lot more points scored and distance. Michael here working the wave over, going from rail to rail, milking it for all he can since he couldn't get in the tube. Distance will be a factor today in the finals for sure.
And there are Michael Ho's scores. The length of the ride has definitely helped him on this one today. The defending champion off to a pretty good start so far. And they're all out there looking for another wave. Up and riding, it's Derek Ho.
And Derek getting himself underneath a nice curl there. Bounces off the lip and makes it, stays with it. So that'll be a great ride for first ride for Derek Ho. He got a little bit under the curl, got a nice off the lip. He should score high on that one.
And he did score high. There are his marks. Pretty good ride for Derek. Derek and Michael Ho, first time two brothers have ever made it this far. Paddling for his first ride, Buzzy Kerbox, one who knows this pipeline well.
Certainly one of the veteran competitors. Buddy's been waiting for a big right-hander, but so far he hasn't been able to get a good wave, so he's picked the left. You can see he's got his back to the wave, working it over all the way through to the inside. It's going to close out, goes up, under, and he goes down. So not too high of a score. Let's see what he got. And there's Buzzy's scores. A little bit earlier, I had a chance to talk to Buzzy about his strategy in the final.
I think when the rights come in, sometimes they're better than the lefts today because of the direction of the swell. And because I'm a regular foot, I try to go right as much as possible. I don't mind going left, but I'd rather go right if the opportunity arises. So hope there's some rights in the final.
Back in the lineup, it looks like they're jostling for position again. It looks like they've got a big one this time, Randy.
Certainly a big one. Kealoha drops it late, gets into it, pulls up into the barrel. He's in there, and he makes it. Kealoha, it's certainly the ride of the final. He's happy with this and working it right through to the inside, going all the way. That one's definitely got to be a high score.
A 9 and 4, 8.5. Great wave. Good lead here at the pipeline for Dane Kealoha. Up in the next swell, it looks like Buzzy Kerbox has just picked up the wave.
Kerbox would have liked that last ride of Kealoha's because that's what he's been looking for, but he's had to settle for another left, and he's having trouble with this one as well, fighting his way through, and he goes down. That could be a costly mistake for Kerbox, choosing to pick a left instead of one of those rights.
The fans enjoying the surfing, not to mention sunshine. Buzzy Kerbox waiting for his scores. There they are, and he had a little bit of a problem with that wave, and I think the scores reflect it. We're on the north shore of the island of Oahu for the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship, and we'll be back after this. Competition, they're scrambling for position. Right now it's Derek Ho and Buzzy Kerbox.
Two surfers trying to go for it. They know they got to get a wave. Interestingly enough, I think that wave actually belonged to Derek Ho. Let's take a look at it again in slow motion, see exactly what happened. You can see both surfers paddling forward, but Derek on the left-hand side of the screen establishes position first, and he's up and riding. Buzzy sees that. Buzzy tries to get out, just clips Derek there. Derek goes down and wipes out. Derek's okay, but his scores reflect the fact that he did wipe out, and not too good of a ride. Going outside, Dane Kealoha gets in late takeoff, swings underneath it, in a left, swings back, almost hits Buzzy Kerbox there, has to work his way around it. Chalking up the points. It's a good ride, big long wave, stalls back, trying to get a little backside tube, pulls into it, gets covered up. Kealoha really moving in the last few minutes of the final, and that one will definitely put him in the lead, I would say, at this stage.
Well, his scores reflected. A couple of 4-7s, as a matter of fact, and an 8. He is in very good position right now, and Michael Ho needs a good wave to keep up.
Okay, Michael seemingly the only one left that can catch Dane at this stage of the game. And Michael's got a wave. He's back out there. He's got to make this one count. Coming underneath it, swings off the bottom, hooks up into it. Another little re-entry, comes down, goes up again, and oh, he catches the rail and he goes down and wipes out. That could be a costly error for Michael Ho. That could be the difference between winning or being the runner-up.
Well, let's check his scores on that. He's got a 4.5, a 5, a 5.5, another 5, and another 5.5, and not quite enough, is it, Randy?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. It will be very close as it is. The judges take the best 5 rides.
Well, that's it. The competition is over. They're raising the red flag, and they'll have to be satisfied with those waves that they picked up today.
Well, I think this is one man that's got to be very satisfied. He's had consistent waves throughout this final, surfed brilliantly on the waves that he has picked. And this last ride of Michael's is the only one where he made an error, and as he went up and tried to go for a radical off the top, goes for it, catches the rail, and goes down. And it just could be that that might cost him the championship.
And the judges are tabulating the scores right now. The crowd here watching the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship is anxiously awaiting this year's pipeline champion. And the judges have Now proclaim their winner. It's 25-year-old Dane Kealoha, this year's winner. Michael Ho came in second, his brother Derek third, and Buzzy Kerbox finished fourth. So, from the North Shore of Oahu in Hawaii, I'm Ann Simon along with Randy Rarick, saying so long.